Okay, so I'm going to give you the overview of the YouTube TV app user interface. This is the home page. And well, before I get started, thank you for watching What Q Thinks. Please be sure to like and subscribe to my show to help it grow. And hopefully, over time, I'll get better with my reviews. I'm kind of basic right now, but over time, I'll definitely try to improve. I can promise you that. But all right, this is the YouTube TV user interface, and I'm running this on a LG C1 TV. And so this is your home page, and it has top picks for you. So it kind of tries to give you things based on what it knows you like to watch. Some of these things will be from your DVR, things you have recorded. Other things are suggestions based on what you like to watch. So as you scroll down to the next little slide here, you have different categories you can choose to find different genres of television. So that's kind of cool. You drop down, if I want to look for all 4K shows, it'll take me here to let me know what's available in 4K, and you can break it down even further if you're looking for shows or certain sports or certain things in 4K. They don't have a ton of 4K offerings, to be honest with you. I have 4K at the moment because I'm a huge college football fan. So I do get at least 3 games on Saturdays for the most part in 4K that I enjoy. But they do have other things, but to me, it's very limited on the 4K. All right, so I can close out of that category and I can choose anything if I want it. The next section is maybe because I'm a sports fan. You have the NFL, things I started watching and I haven't finished, or maybe I did finish and it just didn't clear. Has something special every month depending on what may be going on that month. So this is Hispanic Heritage Month, so a lot of things featuring Hispanic people. Things you can add to your YouTube membership. You can add stars. You can add Max, um, and other different types of things. Showtime. So if you want to add that and have it all in one spot, you can do that here. I currently plan on adding Max because since I'm an NFL Sunday Ticket subscriber, I get 4 months of Max for free. So I'll add that at some point. I prefer the standalone Max simply because I like the 4K and Dolby Atmos option, but you can't beat free. So if I can do 1080p for free, then so be it in 5.1. Here are the suggestions to add to your DVR. The sports section, upcoming games, lets you know what's in 4K, what's available. So that's kind of cool. 4K is currently $10 a month, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think it's worth it unless you're really into sports. So outside of that, I don't think it would be any good. And speaking of sports, you can use this option for multi-view, where you can watch 4 programs at once on the screen. This is very cool when you're watching sports. At any time you highlight one of those screens, then you'll get the sound. If you click on one of those screens, you can go full screen to the game. It does the same for news and weather. And the cool part about the sports, I don't know about the news and weather, you can kind of, most of it comes curated, but you can also make some selections and get the 4 games of your choice. The only restriction is that when it comes to local games, there are certain combinations that it won't allow. So I don't know the ins and out of that, but no, you do have some restrictions, but for the most part, you can go with their curated choices or you can kind of select your own. All right, then you have shows, news, top news stories, which a lot of times will take you to YouTube, comedies, things you can buy on pay-per-view, movies, talk shows, dramas, sports talk. So it has it all. Kind of reminds you of the Google TV and its options as far as the recommendations that it delivers. Then you have your networks and a quick shortcut back to the top of the page. Now, if you go to the left, you have your library here. And here on your library, things that you've recorded in your DVR, This is where I think YouTube TV has dropped the ball. Okay, so you have the new for you. It doesn't always show everything that's newly recorded. If you recorded like an individual sporting event, or maybe an individual event like a music award show or something like that, it doesn't always show here. Sometimes you have to go to other places to get it. You may have to go to the recently recorded in order to see it. You may have to go to the sports section itself in order to see a certain game, or you may have to go to all in order to see an event like a award show or Grammys or something like that. So I don't like how this is set up. I don't like how it's organized. It should at least let you customize this row so you can put what's important to you um, on the left side here. Because as a sports fan, every time I go in, I got to scroll all the way to the right to see the sports offerings and things of that nature. Um, Also, sometimes when you watch a show, it doesn't always clear from this down here from your new for you. So, like I watched the facility this morning, yet it's still showing as a new item, even though I've already finished it. So, I don't quite understand how they have that. Um, Also, if it records a rerun, it can still put your rerun here in the new for you if it's something that, maybe from 2 seasons ago that you never watched. Like if you just recently started watching a show, if it's something from 2 seasons ago, it may put it up there. Or it can be a show that you may have watched and it'll still put it up there. I don't understand the rhyme or reason of that. Now, when you go into what's scheduled, here are all the shows based on, your we'll call it subscriptions, I guess, to shows that you have set up to watch, things set for your DVR. I don't like how if you've watched something before, it'll still record it again. So I watched the Ole Miss LSU game. I watched the WNBA Finals game one, and yet it still shows back up as something that's newly scheduled. And the reason I dislike that is because it only shows you the next 50 items it plans to schedule. Well, if it's 50 items it's showing you, and 20 of those items are things you've seen before, it's just really a waste to me. So I don't know why it can't differentiate from what you've seen to what you haven't seen, and why it records repeats. It's really kind of frustrating when you're trying to search for certain things, or you're trying to go through, it tells you have a new show, and you click on the show and you realize it's just a repeat, that is nothing new. So I don't like how they handle that at all. Their DVR service, I mean, having unlimited DVR is awesome, but there's a lot of work that needs to be done. A lot of work. You should be able to customize to where you should be able to isolate what you're looking for. Like, for example, if I want first run shows, I don't want reruns. Maybe I want a show that's recording at a certain time. Give me a time frame to say, a show like Family Guy, for example. Let's say you want to catch up on all the reruns of Family Guy, 20 something seasons. Then you should be able to say, we'll only record Family Guy between 11 p.m. and 1 p.m. So that way it can catch it from a certain station, as opposed to having it record all day, all out of order, all willy-nilly, because it comes on multiple stations and things of that nature. If that makes sense to you all, if you're what I consider a power user on TV, maybe that makes sense. I don't know. But the expired, I don't quite even understand what that's all about. I guess those are things like I never asked it to record this, but it's here. Maybe because I recorded the game and automatically added the coach's view, but that's showing as expired. This Memphis South Florida game, I don't remember asking to record that, but I don't quite understand the expired. But okay, so lastly, I'll just go really quick to the live. The live is very, very nice. You have your options here as far as different things. You click on it, the thumbnail shows you what the show is in progress. And then you have your guide. The guide is pretty cool. You can have it, I have mine set to customize based on the channels I watch the most will appear at the top of the screen. So it's going to show me my most watched channels up top. And the things that I really don't watch would be towards the bottom. As you can see, a bunch of sports channels up top. You can also have it set, I think, alphabetically, or I think it gives you like 3 options. You can remove any channels you don't watch, so you can take them out. And some of the changes you make have to be done online using a laptop or a phone, the phone app. So keep that in mind, that not everything as far as customization can be done here on the television. Some things you have to go to your phone app or to your laptop or something in order to get done. But in any event, this is just a brief overview on YouTube TV. You do have your multiple profiles where you can have multiple accounts, so someone else can have their own DVR, their own recommendation, and things of that nature. In your settings, then you have your membership billing. If you want to add 4K, you do have options to download. I don't do any downloads to any devices, but depending on the plan, you can download certain things to your device, make changes to your live guide, autoplay a show on start 5.1. It does not offer Atmos, which would be cool if you had Atmos availability. And I'm assuming they'll get to that at some point. You do have fantasy football on here, which is cool. I have my fantasy football connected through Yahoo. So at any time during a game, I can go and view a score. And that's really cool. View my fantasy scores to see how my team's performing. You can do that using Yahoo Sports or the NFL.com. So that's a nice little option. Another thing, and I'm not able to show you now, I don't think, because, well, hold on. Let me see if I have any previous. Let's look at this Lakers game. And I don't want to violate any copyright things or whatever. So I want to be careful about this. But, all right, it doesn't show any options for key plays. But when you go to watch a game, then up at the top of the screen to the right where you see the timer, you'll also have an option for scores and stats where you can go in and look at scores of other games in the league and the statistics of the game that you're watching, which is very cool. I love the option to do that. But it's not always accurate. A lot of times you'll look at statistics and the statistics are assigned to the wrong person. So I can watch a football game and I can see that Patrick Mahomes has maybe run for 25 yards. But then when I look on the stats, it'll show that Isaiah Pacheco actually ran for those 25 yards instead of Mahomes. So it can screw things up a little bit. They do have an option called key plays, which is like kind of a rapid fire, a rapid recap of a game. If you go into the key plays, then that allows you to, okay, here we go. For example, let's look at the scores and stats over here on the right-hand side here. All right, so this is, give you scores. The game hasn't started yet, but as the game progresses, it will give you stats. And it's pretty cool because it doesn't offer any spoilers. A game can be over, but it'll still only show you the stats that have occurred, at the point of where you are in the game. So that's cool. And then with the key plays, these are 18 things that AI has deemed as important during these games. Now, when it works, it's the most awesome thing you can come across. It'll take you to the key plays of the game. It'll play a highlight. The highlight will play for about 30 seconds or so, and then it'll move to the next highlight, and it progresses you throughout the game. However, it doesn't always work. Sometimes it'll show a highlight, and then it'll jump back to the beginning, like what you're seeing on the screen now with the young ladies talking. It'll take you back to the beginning of the program. And then you try to skip to the next hidden play, and it'll take you back to the beginning of the program. And they'll do that for all hidden plays. Maybe it'll be 2 or 3 more that actually work, but for the most part, it doesn't work. So I've noticed when you watch games live, the key plays tend to work as the game is ongoing to help you catch up to live TV. But when you've recorded a game, I think it's like 75% of the time the hidden plays are not going to work. All right. So it just depends. Like here's a key play there. So let me go to the next one. See if it works. All right, go to the next one. Okay, so these key plays are working. It's progressing very nicely. It's not taking me back to the beginning, and that's a good thing. But when I tried to watch this the other day, um, and I went to the key plays, it kept taking me back to the beginning of the program with a young lady sitting at the desk talking. So I don't understand the inconsistency with that. I also don't understand how sometimes you can go into a game and it won't have an offering for score, stats, and key plays, but then you can go to that game a little later and the offering is there. Or maybe if you come in through to watch it live, you'll see an offering for that. So it's very confusing. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's like I said, it's 50-50 on the live games, but like 75% of the time it's not going to work correctly on the recorded games in my experience. But it's a very cool option to have. If that worked, if the stats were more consistent, then that would be great too. Like looking at this game, I don't really know if Collier has 2 points or not because the stats aren't always accurate. She could have 6 points, 1 rebound, and 3 assists like Carlton has, but they just have it assigned to the wrong person. So very sloppy, but things that YouTube can improve upon, I hope. And if they do, this can be one of the coolest options you can have because as a sports fan, I really enjoy being able to watch a game along with having stats. I mean, if I wanted to watch the game and have the stats just off to the side update real time, then that would be cool too. And as far as how the stats update, they usually update within about a minute or so. So it's not quite immediate as far as the real time, but it can, update pretty quickly. But then again, that kind of varies too. There have been times where I've watched a game for 5 minutes and the stats don't update. So I don't know the rhyme or reason behind it. All in all, YouTube TV is a great product. I like it better than Direct TV in a lot of ways. Um, it's much cheaper than Direct TV, but Direct TV still has some things that I kind of like as far as being a TV viewer and a sports fan that makes it a little more um, user friendly in a lot of ways. Whereas YouTube TV can get convoluted, too many clicks to reach certain options, too many redundant options and things of that nature. But let me know what you think if you've used this. Let me know if you prefer maybe Fubo or Hulu Live or something like that. I've never tried either of those, but I do plan on trying Fubo pretty soon because I have a free trial. But yeah, let me know what you think and about the user interface and some of the things you like and don't like.